And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Planet Herring. I'm Michael, and this is iRacing 2020, Season 1, Week 5. And tonight we are going to give a shot at the VRS GT Sprint Series. This week we're at Road Atlanta, probably one of the closest tracks to my hometown in Georgia. But I've done some practice here, but we're going to do a few laps. I'm actually using a modification of one of my VRS setups that I've gotten from the VRS service. Same service that, in fact, sponsors this game. I mean, this series on iRacing, so check that out. Let's see. So I think I've done roughly a 118, so we're going to do a couple of checks here. Setups on these cars are open. There's a lot of different things you can do to them. I'm going to recalibrate my pedals here real quick. There we go, just to make sure. Brake. There we go, all nice and calibrated. I do run 645 degrees as opposed to the 900, just so I don't have to turn the wheel. And everything else is pretty standard control-wise. And so let's go out here. Road Atlanta is a pretty nice little track. Let's adjust that. There we go. Make sure we can see our screens. Probably not super high from your standpoint. It's about perfect for me, though, at least as far as being a dash. So I realize you can't really see the gear indicator, but you can see it on my Z1 dashboard screen up there. So we'll leave it at that. We'll let these guys go out ahead of us.
EW. Buddy. Hi, Kyle. I see you here.
Your exit is clear. Watch the white
what's
line.
up, dude?
All right, so
Stupid shit. Sorry, I didn't see what you said.
So we are going to hush up their talking. So that's probably the trickiest section of Road Atlanta right there through the S's. This right here is the slowest part. Nice long back straight. Nice fast over the hill. Very short, very fast front straight. This right here. Obviously very easy to get wrong, so now I don't have someone pushing me.
Sector 1 time is good.
I don't see how that's even possible. All right, so we're gonna get a couple of warm-up laps out of the way here, and then we'll run through a couple of described laps. Don't really have too much time in the practice session here. So I guess we'll do the talking about it on this very next.
Sector 2 is 1.5 seconds off the pace.
Okay, so starting right here, really hard braking at that line. right after the 100 marker. You don't want to overcook these turns. Crossed under the bridge at full throttle. Just got to get your line right. That's the important thing. Same thing for that turn. Full throttle. Really and truly, we just need to leave it in
20th
fifth.
place.
Hard
Sector
braking
3
to
is
fourth.
0.6 off the pace.
Go through the first turn. Got to learn where this is at. Hard brake down to third. Still kind of messed it up. Through the S's. Some blind turns here. You really just got to practice it.
Sector 1 is 1.6 seconds off the pace.
Oh, now it's not good anymore. Third gear through here. Deceptive, but down 2 seconds. Got to figure out where you do that at. That's tricky. Pretty much the trick with Road Atlanta is learning where your points are at to do various turns. There's a lot of blind turns and also not incredibly well marked turns in terms of like brake markers and stuff. So it's very much a you need to put your car here kind of thing. And practice, practice, practice.
V16.
And it really comes down to
Sector 1 is 1.1 seconds off the pace.
learning the track. Car feels weird today. Does not feel like it felt the other night. That's kind of strange. Guess I'm running on low fuel there.
Sector 2 is 0.9 off the pace. Five minutes of fuel remaining. 5 minutes.
Yeah, definitely not running as good as I ran the other night.
Good lap. That's your quickest today. That puts you 2.7 off the leader's pace. Sector 3 is 0.7 off the pace.
Apparently in iRacing you can take as much of that as you want. Although this is nowhere near the times I was running in yet another practice session.
Sector 2 is 0.8 off the pace.
Kind of weird. Although there's half a second so far.
V13, good lap. That's your quickest so far. You're currently 2.2 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.48 off the pace. Sector 1 is 0.7 off the pace.
Yeah, you can pretty much just take that whole curve. All right, let's see how good we can do with a little bit of a draft here.
Sector 2 is 0.5 off the pace.
Well, I am getting just a crap ton of understeer for some reason today. Huh. That is amazing. Amazingly different from the way it drove the other day, I'll tell you. And we're way down at 15th. Of course, that's 2 seconds slow, even though I know I can do a mid 18, which would put us up here roughly close to the top 10. But for some reason, showing this thing as being really kind of at the moment. It said just a little bit too much understeer. Not certain why. That's kind of strange, as it was absolutely perfect. Yeah, we're definitely getting the pedal right, so no clutch or anything like that. Sequential gearbox, the way I'm playing it. All right, well, let's try again. We only got about 2 minutes until the race session starts, so not certain how much of practice I'll actually get in here.
All clear on pit exit, you can push now.
That feels a little bit better. Honestly, I'm kind of, opposed to taking too much of that curve. I mean, I know it seems to be the fast way, but seems a bit disingenuous. But I know what's happening. The guys are probably just flat out on that sucker. Maybe don't even need to downshift, really. Guess I can try that. You'll notice that you kind of go really
Okay,
far
Michael,
right
in the pit, heads up.
underneath that bridge.
16th place. Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace.
Yeah, see, that's tricky to get right, even if you do it wrong. See if I can actually get this time in before anybody pulls off. I don't know if I'm really close enough to get a draft. Yep. Pretty much dead even.
V18, you're now 2.2 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.6 off the pace.
Well, I guess it's going to force me to go. All right, well, that's fine. In general, not too shabby. I know I can go actually a little bit faster. I'm not certain Well, if the change in conditions or something with regard to my practice time, but the car feels really good. This is the kind of track that has enough spots on it where people can make mistakes. Turn one, all of the S's. Turn at the bottom of the S's. If you can go wide there, but if you hit that wall, that's gonna ruin your day. A lot of people can end up pushing out wide through that very slow turn. Oh, I don't even know what number that is. And then, of course, at the end of the straight, if you miss your braking point or
Checker flags out. P18.
misjudge it, you can end up there. I do know in some cases you can, when you go through those two, the left and then the right, going up over the hill and under the bridge, you can drop a wheel there and end up spinning. So there's lots of places that you potentially can end up biting it, and that's not good for anybody, especially you. So at any rate, I'm gonna do a quick reset on my wheel here. Yeah, maybe not. I guess it's fine. Great. Turn the wheel fully, then one way or the other. So basically, I do this pretty regularly just to make sure that it's right. So then you take, and you're supposed to bring it exactly 90 degrees to the side. And if you do that, there's that. So that's what it wants, but I do not run it at that much. I'm not going to run it that low, but 640 seems to be a good number for me, and then that way you run it out there, and so you just don't have to end up turning quite so much. All right, so we are in qualifying. I do have it set down on, I think, 5 gallons of fuel, so let's go ahead and get that started, shall we? So let's see what we can do with a completely clear track. All right, so
Exit's clear. Push. We've got 2 laps to set a decent time.
leave me alone.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
All right, so get him to shut up. All right, so like I said, it's third gear through here. Take a little bit of that right-hand curve. Stay close to the left. This is one of the ones you'll have to judge when you're supposed to do your turn in. Stay on the curb, brake, down to third. And then, of course, take as much as you want. It is really bumpy. You're going to come up here. You're going to get past that marker on the left. Third gear really through there. Somewhere right in here, as late as you can. Second gear, do not track out too far to the left. Long straight. Different things I've read do say this is crowned a bit, so stay one side or the other. I don't know why you would drag your car here, though. Going to aim for the 100 marker just past that. Look at the lines on the ground. Second gear. Don't push too hard. Make sure it's steering and biting. Keep it to the right, then swing out to the left. Once you see where you're going, do not hit the curbs anymore. You have to. Fifth gear, just hold it. Brake, downshift. Get that apex. That's what you want. Keep it back to the right a little bit. Looking for this. This is your third gear corner. Let it bounce. Get back on the gas. A little bit of throttle feathering maybe there. Notice you don't get an incident for running wide there. As long as you don't do too much. Get back on that as soon as you can. But don't run wide. Yep. are right at the right spot for brake bias. Aiming for that spot. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Second gear. Get ready for that next lap. Don't hit the curb too much. Try to apex that perfectly. All right, so currently 4/10. Don't know that that's going to really be enough to get me into the 18s, but was currently sitting 6th. That's probably going to go away. And brake, 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 brake. Probably didn't do that perfectly, obviously, by the time I lost on it. And across the line with maybe another 10th off. Yep, 19.4, currently 5th. I doubt that's going to stick. So let's see how it goes here. Of course, this is one of those ones. I have expressed this opinion in videos before and actually gotten some feedback on it. But I will stick to my guns on this one, that people who just completely sit out quality either are fast and can't pull off a clean lap because they will not try for the conservative lap first, or they are fast and they want to give themselves the ultimate challenge, which is dangerous for people that are typically at the back, and it's a somewhat insensitive move in my opinion. Now, obviously, I will display this. Caveat that by saying, yes, there are people that try really hard to get a clean lap and just can't do it. And okay, I understand that, but I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, we're currently still in 5th. With we must be on the lower end of the split, I wonder. We still got 2 minutes. That's amazingly enough in and of itself. So I think I will grab me a bit of water. Okay. That makes it a little bit easier. All right. Well, like I said, I do have a VRS subscription, and that is where I get most of my setup information, as well as driving lines and gearing and stuff like that from their service. I do recommend it if you're so inclined. It is very helpful. It can also be quite frustrating. All right, so I got that typed in. The only thing we will need to do is we will need to make sure that we add more fuel, so that is the one thing that I absolutely have not talked about, and that is the fuel situation. So these things almost certainly will require a pit stop, so we will hold off until later on. Why am I failing tech with a full tank of fuel? That is not good. Ride height is too low. All right, so with a full tank of fuel, it looks like I gotta jack the front up just a tad. Look at that. I did not realize that. Huh. Interesting. This is actually a modification of my, I believe, my Montreal setup, perhaps. And as a result, was not really designed for this track. So maybe that is, in fact, the problem here. 1 second to the race. All right, so we are fueled up. We are hitting enter on our shameless self-promotion. We are going to double check our fuel one more time. We are going to unmute all the talkie. And time to grid up. All right, so keep me updated.
Understood. I'll keep you informed.
All righty, so Jimmy, the crew chief, has been turned back on. We are indeed starting in, I believe, 5th place. I really like that outcome. I'm not sure how that's going to end up in the grand scheme of things, but we are car number 6 and we are in 5th place. How do you like that? All right, so got our pertinent race information up. All right, everybody is getting ready to go. So 1 to green, we do have the mandatory. I'm going to figure out how much I'm going to put in later, but I'm almost certain it's probably going to be about 5 to 6 gallons. So I'm not even going to pull out the good old-fashioned calculator and do that. We absolutely are not going to replace the tires. That will take way too long. All right, we are ready. And so now all we got to do is, I got to get this fixed with these buttons. I'm going to completely redo my wheel here. I'm going to get a 3D printer and completely do a whole brand new wheel panel project. But
P5. The track temp is 83 Fahrenheit.
yeah, I wonder what the humidity is. It is Georgia after all.
Follow car number 4 in the left lane.
All right. So a nice partly cloudy day in northwest Georgia. Okay. So 1 parade lap to give everybody a look. One thing I will say is there are a lot of Mercedes cars in this race. Holy cow. It's like all of the Mercedes. Now, I will say, okay, you drive the Mercedes because it's probably the most powerful, one of the most powerful cars in here. Probably also one of the easier ones to drive. But to put the actual Petronas livery on the Mercedes, now that's some hardcore fanship right there. All right, so I imagine that this will be one of those really get on it kind of starts.
Good race, guys.
Come across the hills, pace car will pull in, and that will be the beginning of the race. Turn 1 is going to be the thing that we have to watch out for. Certainly going to be one of those places where it could very well end up being the end of the race. So hopefully I do not have to do a redux on this one. really like to get this one out of the way and successful on the first try, but
Go! Blue flag.
okay, so we made it through turn 1. We did get, I think, passed by 6. All right, so let's see what we can do here with this. Definitely do not want to brake late on the first run down to the back corner. That would be a bad idea. So I'll look for that 100 marker.
Don't be distracted. Defend your position. Great stuff. Keep it coming, mate. E6.
Okay,
Stay close.
that's what I'm working on. Boy, these guys brake early. I learned where they're doing that at. All right, so I'm guessing this is where the big braking.
Left side. Still there. Clear left.
Okay, braking on the outside, not where you want to be.
The gap behind is now 0.50. You've just done a 120.37. Sector 1 is 0.9. Off the pace. Alright, Michael. Keep piling on the pressure. He'll make a mistake.
That's what I'm hoping.
6th place.
Or I'll make a mistake. Well, the guy behind me made a mistake. Huh.
The gap to Smith ahead is increasing. It's now 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, well, let's get back onto it. Lots and lots of laps going on here.
Sector 2's a second off the pace.
Sector 2? What about Sector 3? Yeah, now he's pulling away from me. Come on. Whew, wow, there is a lot of laps in this race. 31 laps, really? Wow, that's going to be a long 40 minutes. I swear, trying to hit that, not hit that curb. Well, there's somebody.
Car right. Clear right.
Looks like somebody had some bad luck there.
Our fuel window will open after 22 minutes and closes after 31 minutes.
All right, let's see if we can catch Mr. Smith.
The gap to Smith ahead is now 2.2. P4.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the most optimal line through there. Maybe might catch him. Almost. I think down the straights he might have a bit of an advantage of me on me. Like Frat might be gaining. All right. Seems like
That last lap was a 120.02. Sector 1 is 0.8 off the pace.
trying to figure out which sector 1 is reporting. You reporting the one from last time? Oh, I hate it when that goes wide. Okay, so we're still in 4th. We are 7 laps into it. So far, not too shabby. We're keeping up with Mr. Smith relatively well and keeping away from Mr. Pratt relatively well as well.
The gap to Smith in front is now 2.3. That was a 120.00. Sector 2 is 0.6 off the pace.
So sector 2 is relatively fast, what you're telling me. Yeah, I think I'm a little too scared of that curve. It's either bouncy, bouncy, or I miss it completely. Sometimes I gain there, and sometimes I don't. Lap number 8. All right, let's not be too aggressive at this point in time. All we want to do, hit our marks.
That's the fastest lap of the race.
Really, that was an off track? Doesn't really seem fair.
P4.
Guess I gotta watch out for that turn. Yeah, I don't
The
know.
gap to Smith ahead is increasing. It's now 2.6.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters real too much. We're down to 9.75 gallons of fuel. So we're gonna have to stop for some here. Okay, so he's at the 3-second mark. Okay, so we're to the point where we could potentially stop, but I think we'll just wait just a little longer. Fuel to the end of the race.
Speak more clearly, I can't hear you.
How much fuel to finish?
5.8 gallons.
All right, 5.8 gallons. All right, so I'm right at the
Your lap
6.
time was 119.86.
So I did say we'd need about 6 gallons, and it looks like right now that is exactly how much we'll need. Looks like Mr. Smith is not making any mistakes. And we're just making ever so slightly small ones, which are resulting in him gradually pulling away, which is okay.
The gap to Smith ahead is now 3.6.
So the pit entrance for this is right there, off to the right, so we definitely got to be careful. Right now we don't have anybody behind us. Yep, definitely Mr. Smith is walking away ever so slightly. Alright, so I think I'll just take it to lap 15.
Okay, Michael, you've used half your fuel.
Really?
The gap to Smith ahead is now 4.5 seconds.
It looks like we're keeping Ferreira about 10 seconds back. Not enough for a free pit stop.
Thank you.
That was a 119.48. Yellow flag, watch out.
Yeah, I don't know if he was ahead of us or not. Let's see. Yep, next lap's going to be lap 15.
The gap to Smith in front is now 4.1 seconds.
How much fuel to finish?
5.7 gallons. You've just done a 120.24.
Okay. Alright, so let's check our fuel going down the straight. I do want to put a little bit more than it says I need, so I'm going to go for 7 gallons. Fuel to finish race.
I didn't catch that.
How much fuel to finish?
Can't aim, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael, keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us. That's 20 minutes to go. That's halfway. We think about 11 minutes of fuel left. Look out for the pit speed limit. Block 12.
How much fuel to finish race?
5.5 gallons.
Okay, so we are
Box
absolutely...
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Okay, let's get our gas, let's get our gas, let's get our gas.
There's traffic behind. Take care.
All right, so we have successfully stopped for a pit stop, gotten our fuel we need. And so now let's figure out where we are in the pecking order and work our way back. Okay, so I think we're way down in ninth now.
E11.
Way down in 11th, huh?
Thank you.
The gap to white behind is increasing. It's now 10 seconds.
Car right. Clear right.
Thank you.
No problem.
Well done, Michael. Great move. Keep it up.
All right, so thanks to Mr. Radowski, however you pronounce your name. Thank you very much for letting me by there. And we'll make this a lot easier. And so now we can focus on lapping, getting to who's next?
E9.
Mr. Vaughn. I do not know if I will get back to fourth. But I would like to get up at least to my starting position. And I think we're what? I don't know where we're at. Oh, crap. We're still in ninth? Might be in ninth. Alright, well, let's not focus too much on that.
That's the fastest lap. Sector 1 is 0.41 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.27 off the pace. Sector 3 times okay. 15 minutes remaining, 15 minutes to go. Stay focused, we're still in this.
I sure hope so. Alright, we're catching Mr. Vaughn. Ever so slowly. Well, actually not too slowly. I gained like a 1.8 seconds on him last lap. Maybe that's not slowly. Crap.
Okay, Michael, relax, focus, keep it smooth. P8, Sector 1 is 0.45 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.2 off the pace. Sector 3 is 0.29 off the pace. The gap in front is now 3.0.
Yep, less of that now. Alright, come on, Mr. Vaughn. Girding, and then Ribera. Looks like Pereira is out, is he? Or is he in the pits?
There's a car rejoining in front.
Potentially pass somebody there. And we are much closer to Mr. Vaughn. All right. I don't know if the person that we passed, though, is actually someone I need to watch out for. It looks like...
Thanks, Ryan.
Really? The current fourth is what's behind me? Has he stopped yet? Well, I mean...
Alright, Michael, there's a car exiting the pits, heads up. P6, you've just done a 120.12. The lead car's pitting.
Yeah, see, alright, well, I can say, alright, fine. I don't want to be the lead car, they were way ahead, but I do want my fourth back.
The gap to Ferrari behind is now 2.1. 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes. P4. Sector 1 is 0.8 off the pace. Sector 2 is 0.5 off the pace. Sector 3 time is quick.
All right, so we have successfully executed. Would that be the undercut? I believe so. And we are back in 4th place, folks. Oh, excuse me. We're back in 4th place with Mr. Ferreira behind. Luckily, it doesn't seem like he is gaining a lot. I would definitely like to put some serious space between myself and him. Especially if he hasn't pitted yet.
That lap was at 119.65. Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
Alright, so far so good. Oh boy. Don't suppose that was 3rd place? No. It's like 3rd place is in fact still Mr. Smith. Has Smith pitted? I'm guessing it can't answer that.
Thank you.
Crap. Got it too close. Has the car ahead pitted?
Pardon?
Guess I don't know. Okay. We are definitely not gaining on Smith, I don't believe so. And he can't possibly have, well, our lap times weren't that far apart. So I really, he might not have pitted. I mean, he wasn't going.
For area behind is now 2.4 seconds. P4.
Thank you.
Complete all your apexes. Wait for the chances to come, mate. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I can't believe he hasn't. Yeah, he had to have pitted. He's only got 5 minutes left. He's not going to stop on the last lap. Yeah, that or he's been running fuel savings the whole time. That would be impressive in and of itself. That was an iffy one. Haven't broken the 3 mark yet. I mean, he might be sweating it out, thinking that he's going to get the...
Okay, Michael. 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
I mean, he might be able to get it.
Lap time was 1:19.41.
Oh boy, who's in front of me? Oh, 10th spot. Great. Alright, well, hopefully he is cognizant of where he's really at.
Two minutes to go. 2 minutes.
Although he might actually be fast.
That lap time was 1:19.30.
A little too much curb. Alright, so Ferreira is now almost 4 seconds back. Smith is now 15 seconds ahead. And we have roughly one more lap after this, I think, folks. What you have to wonder is, did Smith... Oh boy.
The lap time was at 1:19.74.
You know, I was starting to say, he must have messed up. because he damn sure is not trying to save fuel. Well, I'm not certain how it would have been different. We started...
Gap to Ferraria behind is increasing. It's now 4.2 seconds. That's 2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
So this is saying that that was the checker flag.
There's the checkered flag.
Well, that says that is the checker flag, and that is 30 laps. All right, well, not too bad. I'll have to check and see if we in fact got a split here, because I didn't think there was that many people registered. But if so, we definitely lucked out when it came to the people that were in this race, I'll have to say.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
All right, well, we'll go in here.
In 1,230 feet. P4. There we go. It's over. Bring it back round.
Thoroughly happy any way you look at it to qualify and start where I'm at. Even further happy to actually be in the top 5 or so and do a set of pit stops and come right back to the spot we were at. That means we were consistent. That means we were relatively fast and in good company. So looks like our qualifying times, the number 1 guy qualified with a 1:19.2, which that's what I say is conservative. Well, he gridded up. 1:18.3 was the pole position. 1:18.5 was number 2. Mr. Ferrer actually ended up behind us. Let's look at Mr. Fratt actually ended up winning the race. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Let's look at his lap time, see if there's anything there that looks like a actual pit lap. Well, there's a 1:48, so he definitely stopped later on. Okay, there's that. What? Mr. Pancioni. Let's look at his laps. He got a couple of bad laps there. 1:43s. That looks like and then he had a 1:25. Looks like he may have gotten into some trouble there. His fastest lap was actually a 1:18.2. Looks like nobody actually got into the 1:17. So let's just for the sake of reference, let's look at his 1:18.2. Would have actually been probably more informative had we had somebody here actually do a 1:17, but I don't think that we did. That's pole position guy, Mr. Ferreira. just to check, his laps 1:18.9 was his fastest there. And then Mr. Frat, his fastest lap was a 1:18.6. Nobody really did a 1:17 in this race. So let's look at Mr. Pancioni here. His fastest lap, again, was a 1:18.2. Compare that really quickly to the fact that our fastest lap was a 1:19.2. So he was a second faster than me, pretty consistently. Not sure what I was doing. I think just a time of day or something with that 1:18.5s I was running in practice. He was pretty consistently doing 1:18s too. So let's look at this lap. Let's go ahead and hide that. We are inside the car, and I'm going to go back out so you can see his dashboard there. So let's go ahead and look at this. So he's heading up. He does upshift. That's one thing I was not doing. So down to fourth. And he's got enough control, downshift or whatever. This is one of those super aggressive guys. He's probably got suspension set so he can really attack. And he does upshift to fifth there. And he just takes it down to fourth. I might actually try that, even though he takes a lot of curb. He's also one of these crazy fast shifters, pump, pump kind of guys. Okay. Seems like I always end up spinning it when I do that. All right, so I don't know what his speed coming down the straight is. We can actually look at that. Down to second. Yeah, so that's really the only two places that he's doing something different other than really attacking. Because he is pretty much just lifting off the throttle, downshifting, barely braking, and sliding it right through there. So he might... Let's actually, on that fastest lap, let's go back and we'll take a look at his top speed on the back straight, which is usually a good indicator, especially coming out of a very slow turn at the bottom of a straight. And going down to another very slow turn at the other end of the straight. That is a good indicator of how quickly you got off the turn. But since that really slow turn really isn't much about how much speed can I carry through here, because in effect it is the slowest part of the track. Getting to the other end of the straight, a lot of times the top speed is a direct influence on how much downforce you have. In this case, what's your wing angle? So you can see here we are 157, 158, 159, 160. So he almost touched 161. And on that back straight. Now you compare that to, say, my fastest time. My laps 1:19.2 was indeed the fastest. Let's cruise through that really super fast. Okay, so here we are. And coming down the straight. Speed up here, get up to the top of the hill. 153, 154, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 61, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I'm actually getting up to 164 where he's barely kissing 161. So that to me, when someone is faster, what that's telling me right there is that he probably has just a smidgen more downforce, maybe like one click or two on his wing, and he probably has, let's see, what else we got in here? There's not much which is really going to affect your speed with regards to how this sets up here. I mean, if there's a few things that make the tires scrub a little bit more, a little bit less, or whatever, but the most direct thing really is going to be your toe end values and your wing angle. So what I'm kind of thinking is he probably has this set maybe at 5, maybe 6, probably not likely. And so he's got just a tad bit more downforce, and so he's getting just a little bit less as far as speed down that straight. And it's probably what is helping him around turn 1. Basically just letting off the gas, popping it down from 6th to 4th, and just flooring it, where I'm actually actively braking and probably doing it a little too much, because I have to bring it down to a speed where my car can actually make that turn. So there you go. But all in all, yes, we're going to discard that. All in all, not too shabby of a race. Definitely one of the better ones I've had in this series. Overall, the GT3 Sprint series so far this year has been very, very good. Haven't had too many issues, too many incidents or anything. Have had a couple of wrecked out races that I've had to go back and do it again. But in general, I am having good luck, and you know, I'm pretty much a person. It's almost actually a general rule with me is I'm not a person who runs a race over and over and over and over again, hoping for the best result and trying to see if I just happen to get lucky and get an official race that has a decent field that is also people that are slower to me. Way I see it, just like in real racing, you get basically one chance to run a race. You know, if you get wrecked out, that's one thing, because I do want to have good videos, but at the same time, I'm not trying to race and race and race and race until I get a win or a podium or something like that. So you do have to take these as they come, and especially considering I'm not trying to do that, and I'm also doing a 4 or 5 different series and trying to have a good broad scope, to do what most people do with sim racing and have fun and do a lot of different things. So in my opinion, qualifying 5th, finishing 4th, having a good pit stop, it is really about the experience for me. And so all of those elements fall together when it really comes out as a complete experience and a complete set of activities within racing. That makes it fun for me. And, it's not just about winning or placing as high as I can get. So that being said, I am going to call it for this evening. And of course, if I haven't said so already, we're coming into the first full week of 2020. Still got a lot of things I'm working on. I got a couple of projects that are in the editing phase. We've got our first episode of the Lego The Force Awakens gameplay series that me and my son are doing. And then I'm still working on the editing for my complete rig teardown. And a couple other things. It's just one of those time consuming things. Video editing takes a long time sometimes, especially with longer videos. But hopefully I will get those out soon. And of course, as always, my focus is sim racing. Going to continue to do that. So thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the content in this video especially. And as always, here's the end card. Nope, that's not the end card. That is the wrong button.
Hey guys, Michael here. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, go ahead and click that like button. Click on the planetherring logo to subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you think about the video in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon.